We move away from Turkey, where Lewis Hamilton was crowned a 7-time champion, to the deserts of Bahrain. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit for the first of a double back-to-back. This championship has already been wrapped up, but with 3 races to go, there's still a lot to be decided. Bahrain this weekend, Shakir on the outer loop next weekend. 2 weeks' time, the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton may be the world champion. Valtteri Bottas still just about confirmed in second, with Max Verstappen in third, but the battle over 4th place is still hotting up. Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll all stand a chance of being in the 4th place position. On the second page, Lance Stroll leads on 59 points, Ocon on 40, Vettel 33, Kvyat, Hülkenberg still in 15th, ties at Alfa Romeo, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi on 4, Grosjean 2, Magnussen 1, and no points for Latifi or Russell. In the Constructors' Championship as well, we see Mercedes leading and the champions are 504 points. But the battle for third hotting up. Racing Point 154, McLaren 149, Renault 136 and Ferrari 130. That battle for third is still there. And of course, Alfa Romeo on 8, Haas on 3, Williams still with no points. It's the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix. We're under the lights. This is Free Practice 2. Let's take a look around the Shakir circuit, the Bahrain International Circuit, 3.362 miles, 15 turns, 3 DRS zones, and an elevation change high at 40 metres. It is the trickiest circuit on the calendar in terms of constant time. Start the lap now! Already in 8th gear, flat out on the overtake button. Maximum fuel usage as you hit the first real heavy braking zone on the track. Down to 2nd gear for the right-handed turn 2. Left as well up the hill towards turn number 4. Open up the DRS zone for the first time. Now swoop round turn number 4. Now don't go for the apex all the time. Let the car drift out as you get the better run through 5, 6 and 7. Jump the curves a little bit into the braking zone 9 of turn 8. Really heavy, really put the power down through 2nd gear. Now turns 9 and 10. The trickiest corners on the track. A double left whilst braking. Turn 10, hardest to crack. Go for the outside wider line. You get a straighter one for the 2nd DRS detection point on the run down the National Straight towards turn number 11. Flick the car into the left, put the power down mid-apex to drift you out wide through 12 and into turn 13, my favourite part of the track. Get too much on the curves, the car will spin you round. Into 14 now, quick flick to the left before opening up the DRS once again, and straight down now, under the sand dunes as well, into turn number 15 and 16. The really 2 last braking points on the track. Flick the car into the left, the little corner there counts as the last corner, flat out to the line, DRS open again in the first zone, and that is a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit. And welcome to the commentary box for Free Practice 2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix, as well as here on YouTube. We're about to welcome our radio listeners, Joshua Birch alongside Ian Birch in the commentary box, and all of you here watching on YouTube. We're about to rejoin for our radio listeners for Free Practice 2. And the sun has set, and we are under the lights here in the city of Shakir. Bahrain plays host to both the 15th and the 16th round of the championship for 2020. They call these 3 races after the championship has been decided dead rubber races. However, the fight for second in the championship is still up for grabs, as well as third in the Constructors' Championship. That is between Racing Point, McLaren, Renault and Ferrari. And now we're battling in the dunes of Bahrain. 17.3 metre elevation changes, the highest is at turn 4. But in terms of action zones, Leclerc versus Vettel last year made it one to watch. Vettel having a terrible race Also is spinning down at turn 4 under acceleration. He later went on to break his front wing on that lap, putting right down towards the back of the field. Hamilton skimper away into the distance, but that race went to Bottas. Turn 11, Giovinazzi versus Kvyat, right round the outside position. Once again, a situation that helped the latter. So, we have got 3 tyre compounds, unlike this morning where it was a mixture of damp and wet conditions. It's soft, medium and hard, C4, C3, C2, and the dry tyres will be in operation for today's session. I can't see why we would have to wait again for yet another run, but we've got about 2 minutes and 47 seconds until the green light goes on. We're under the lights, and it's a bit of a difference from when we were here back in 2004, 16 years ago, because it's now under the lights and it's still just as hot. Ian Birch, good afternoon to you.
Hi, it's this is more representative according to a lot of people. They were doing a lot of Air Force.
Air Force. They were, weren't they, this morning? Air drag and aero development.
Aero development this morning, which was dead exciting. Not.
Yeah, it was a pretty boring session. We're just looking at an overhead of the shot. There's a bit of triangle in darkness, which next weekend will be lit up all the way throughout the weekend as we race on the outer circuit. I can't wait for that one. But we want to do the normal circuit, which has provided interesting races. And you're right, free practice 2, much more crucial than free practice 1 and free practice 3. This is the only time they get.
I think only because of the fact that it's more like qualifying and the race, in that it's dark and you've got to set your stall out where you're going to brake and how you're going to take the line. This morning's aero outfit, it was strange. It really was strange. Nobody seemed to be doing anything this morning. Maybe it's back end of the season. Maybe that's the problem. But it wasn't entertaining at all. We made it as entertaining as we could by talking about every subject under the sun.
Wasn't all that good, though, because not everything could be talked about, not everything could be made interesting. It's one of those situations where we just had to keep talking. At the moment, we're under the night sky.
I've just been talking to Megan.
Oh, yes. Megan is back, but not with us in the commentary box for FP2. What's she been saying, then?
She's already ready for bed.
Ugh. I mean, I must admit, it may be dark in Bahrain, but it's just the sun's just setting here.
She's always like that, though.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time.
She won't go to sleep. She'll be revising in her bedroom.
Yeah, she will be. Yeah, it's only 3 o'clock in the UK, and she's already ready. I can't remember the last time though. It was this dark at 3 o'clock in the UK.
This Alfa Romeo with the very shiny tyres.
These are the Pirelli test tyres for next year. Yeah.
I think that's running too low. I thought that this morning.
Well, we had
they weren't the only ones.
Problems. Yeah.
There was a few that were running too low this morning.
Grosjean had a numerous problem with his tyres in free practice 1. But we are just getting ready for free practice 2. The green flag is about to come out now, and the session is underway here in Bahrain. The first 2 cars out on the track, Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo, Nicholas Latifi in the Williams, Alexander Albon in the Red Bull heading out. And for the first time this year, we have cars under the lights for the first time, and they look beautiful. The last 3 races of the year here in Formula 1 will all be night races.
I've got to admit, some of the still shots that the camera lads get for the newspapers and for the magazines are very dramatic here. Because the lights shine on the paintwork and make it very distinctive. And when you've got a picture of one going over a curbs in slow motion, and you can, even for Ferrari, which is looking duller than ever.
Yeah, it is, with hardly any sponsorship and
no
matte
sponsorship. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Well, that'll cut down on the weight anyway.
I've just had another thing as well to remind them that this is the first time Formula 1's had 3 night races in a row in its history, because we raced here in Bahrain twice under the lights, and then Abu Dhabi is a twilight race. However, next year we have 5 races, I believe, if I'm wrong, under the lights, because we get Bahrain under the lights, we get Singapore, Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. So that might only be 4.
A big thing in this country at the moment is that we should be shouting about the human rights record of Bahrain, which isn't good, but we go to for much worse. And Liberty's argument is that you keep politics out of
Formula One, yeah.
Which I do agree with. That you keep politics out of sport. That's why in the Olympics you have the Russians versus the Americans and the Chinese, and every other country in the world. That's fine, and that's what it should be here. But we shouldn't forget their records of human rights.
Yes.
And
So we're just having a little issue with our connector. Back to you. You can keep.
I can keep talking. Yeah.
Don't think we're actually hearing any radio coming through us. We'll fix that. Hello, this is Valtteri Bottas going slow at the back half of the straight down towards turn 14. Alexander Albon's coming past him now as well. Hopefully he's just building up for a lap, and there's nothing wrong.
Gasly's coming up as well, and Perez is slowing as well.
Race pace, yeah. So they're just turning it up.
I think
now
they're just.
as well,
I just think they're just trying to get themselves a bit. Lewis has just come out of the pits.
So everything's now go as Raikkonen is top at the moment as the session gets underway for Bottas. Blasting past the pit lane. You can see it's almost covered in a yellow tinge because of the grandstand. Into the first corner, downhill, second gear corner. Quick flick to the left as well. Back up the hill, fifth gear. Already open up the DRS. Now, you've got rid of the Mickey Mouse section up to turn 4.
We've got a good view of the steering wheel there.
Yeah.
One of the first things you have to do when it's a night race is you turn it to black, so that the background is black. And then you turn down the contrast.
And he's off. He's lost it. Coming through turn 6 and 7, the switch section, and he's gone straight on. I think he was distracted by the dashboard as well.
Yeah, Valtteri's dashboard is still bright, but it's turned down to its lowest. And the background is black, all because of the fact that you don't want it blaring in your face. If it's shining on your goggles, you've got it wrong.
Dark mode, like on an iPhone or a Samsung.
Yeah, and as for the goggles, you use a medium on that.
Yeah.
Because you've got, although it's dark, you've got the situation where the lights make it very bright.
Yeah, so it's almost like a day race still, yeah.
And that's the difference for the drivers between practice 1 and 2. In that practice 2 being in the dark, you have to change a lot of things on the car that are cosmetic.
Yeah, and you have to change your reference points also.
But for us, it gives we can see the detail on the steering wheel much more clear.
I'm loving them. I love night races, and this is our first one this year as well. I was always disappointed that MotoGP never got their night race in Qatar this year. It was only Moto2 and Moto3. They are spectacular races as well. Perfect time to have them as well. Saudi Arabia in Jeddah will have one next year. That's going to be a night race, which I think is going to be interesting.
There's a place that is very controversial about us going.
Yes. And Bahrain is the other. Abu Dhabi, I believe. There's also something
China.
at the end. I'm just very glad that China as well, yes. I'm also very glad that they've actually kept the We Racers 1 stickers on the cars this weekend. There's a lot of talk they would take them off. Lewis Hamilton, on board with, has kept his Black Lives Matter emblem on the top of his crash helmet, which is great news to see. Absolutely agree. Sainz is top 130.
Hopefully Sir Lewis.
Sir Lewis, yes. God, well, we actually going to have to call him Sir Lewis.
No, we just call him Lewis.
Or Hamilton as well.
You don't need to call him Sir Lewis. I mean, there are a number of Sears in the paddock.
So Chris Hoy, for instance, when we commentate,
but even the Williams lot, they both got knighthoods and things like that. It's just a way the country can say we're proud of you.
Yeah, Sir Frank Williams. Yeah, good point actually. Yeah. So Jackie Stewart, Sir Sterling Moss, as here comes Hamilton. Slightly conscientious.
But not Sir Damon Hill.
No, not Sir Damon Hill. Not also Sir Maury Walker. I can't believe Maury's been left out of that one. The man he's done over the years.
Especially his war record, which was
captain
in the tank corps or a major.
No, captain. I think it was captain.
I think he got to major in the end.
Might have done. I'm not too sure. I haven't read the end.
He was in the tank corps.
Yeah. Just going forward as well, as our timing monitor goes a bit strange again as I try and get it back to what we need it to be.
Houston, we have a problem.
That's Hamilton being passed on the track by Romain Grosjean coming into turn 14. Grosjean's not happy because
I've
that's
got
why.
Grosjean in my ears, so the radio is working.
Yeah, Grosjean wasn't happy at Hamilton because he was holding him up down the back straightaway. Hamilton crosses the line and only goes 17th. He got held up massively there. Martin Brundle out on the track side as Hamilton blasts past him. So this is always good when Sky F1 do this. As Martin looks to have cut his finger, actually, on the inside there, as you can see. There's a little black dot there, so it looks like he's cut his finger. I can sympathise with that as well. My hand is not all it's cracked up to be at the moment. It's a lot better than it was this morning.
He's not as old as cracked up to be, actually, are you, Josh?
No, I'm not. We've got several cars locking up big time coming into the first corner. They're all trying to find their braking spot on the circuit.
That is Joshua, by the way, and not Benny or Beyond from ABBA.
Oh, yeah,
Looking on the picture.
I can see, I think it's the coat as well. Well, it was cold when I walked in. I think it's just about warmed up now. So I might just take that jacket off. Headwinds die down in towards turn 4, so that's the uphill section of the track. Verstappen, Ocon have just gone through with Ricciardo and Norris. Stroll comes into turn 1. Timing screen lighting up on one page, but not on the other. Sainz, Verstappen, Norris, Ocon, Albon, top 5. Kvyat, Perez, Giovinazzi, Leclerc, Stroll, Magnussen. I've also made that a bit easier to read over the past hour.
Also, I can tell you that the look of this first few minutes of this session, they're doing more normal lines than they have done before. The speeds are up back to normal, and maybe it's just the fact that the night's here, and so they're excited about something different, about driving in some different way to what they're used to. And there is the machine on the thing that got me very irate this morning. And one of our people that.
So we just had a team radio from Gasly saying, "Why do you not let him through?" Gasly's really not happy on the radio.
Don't have a go at my Aussie pal. And I didn't know whether or not he was talking about Michael Massey.
Joking.
I know they were joking, but Michael Massey, or the fact that we wanted everybody in every state from New South Wales to Victoria to the Western Australia to actually try and go on the website and get Danny Ricciardo the Duchess title that he deserves.
Keeps saying it, doesn't he?
Yeah, Duchess.
He said he was on a WhatsApp
I keep saying
chat.
Duchess.
He was on a WhatsApp chat. He says with Queen Elizabeth, and
apparently
he's a character.
Apparently, he jokingly said that Queen Elizabeth was talking to him. Well, if he wants a number, we've got it.
And also one of the Queen's apple juices.
Apple juice.
This
is an advert. If you want really nice 6 varieties of different apple juice,
is it 6?
Go online to Sandringham, the Royal Household at Sandringham, and order apple juice. Is that okay, Philip? Yes. Just say it again. Apple juice. Right. You can buy a case of one type, or you can buy, ask for different ones. They're beautiful, nicely cooled.
This is Gasly on the radio. He too has been held up by one of the Mercedes. By the look of it, it looks like Valtteri Bottas. I'm trying to have a look on the track. I think it is Bottas, actually. Gasly was in front of him.
What?
Yeah, so Hamilton was in trouble with that one. Here comes Gasly to the line. He's 12th at the moment, just running over the rumble strips and getting all out of the dunes as well. Getting kicked out with the sand. Not gravel, it's sand here. As Gasly does a 1:32.097. Verstappen just behind him stays into second at 1:31.083. As coming across the line, Kvyat starts a time. And that's a radio saying avoid turn 6. That's from Franz Tost.
So what did you want, Philip? Oh yes, thanks for the advert. Here's a red one with the wife on. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here comes Gasly to the line. That's a replay of him running wide. Just took too much of the entrance curb. It's 14.
£50 note for red one with the wife on.
50. You haven't seen £50 in a long time. I think we had one a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
No.
Down there were 20s.
I don't know. Yes, I think we did.
I think we did have a 50 sometime. I can remember.
I can remember one of the new 50s.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was a taxi driver, we used to accept them. Used to send them into a shop and say, change it. I'm not taking that.
2 20s and a 10.
It's no to do with the kids, right? Because let me explain. Right, the Chinese government pay all their students, and we have a lot of Chinese students here. Right, they pay them each month. in £50 notes.
Yeah. And it's a bugger to transfer them for us.
And yeah, you keep telling them, take them to a bank because people don't like taking them because it's too much money to lose if it's fake. And it's not fake because the kids have got them off the Chinese government.
Yeah, but it's even then, it's a problem to have a £50 note. Yeah.
Because you can't pass it on yourself.
No.
You go get some petrol and you give them a £50 note and say they're expecting 30 quid change, and they'll look at you as if to say, is this worth of money?
It's a
yeah,
useless...
the Chinese government pay their kids in... And they're beautiful kids. I love the Chinese kids. They were always nice, polite. They're so polite.
They are. We had a group.
They're so polite. Unlike you, Josh, they're so polite.
We had a group come to the university a couple of years ago. The loveliest bunch of people you could ever.
Do you know if
meet.
you interrupt your elders, right? That's wrong. And so
that's not working
I am
here,
your dad,
it?
so I am your elder. So just shut up. And
That's
let
not
me
working.
talk.
That's not working out here.
Saints 1:30.989.
Perez goes into fourth place, 1:31.254. Ricardo crosses the line. He's had 3 lap times deleted in a row.
And there goes the downforce. There you can see the magnesium blocks are in this because it's dark and we're under the lights. You can see the magnesium blocks sparking a lot more. It's so good. I love it.
Ricardo's gone 13th, a 1:32.990. That's the best he could do. All but Vettel, Leclerc, and Giovinazzi, and Lando Norris now, are on the Pirelli test tyre. So the tyres for 2021, they're all out there straight away in these relevant conditions to get them all testing, which I think is great, but they don't have to give them back at the end of the session so they can keep going. So
Sorry, Sir Duke, the door's open.
Stroll goes 9th as Leclerc has a little bit of an oversteer coming out of turn 11 through the turn 12 kink. One of my favourite corners on this track, if not on the season.
He can say turn 12 kink.
Yes.
Kink.
That lovely sweep up the hill as well. It's flat out.
It's a corner.
Yeah, but it's flat out.
I know.
And it's so good. It is like a kink as well, because you go up and you just turn the wheel ever so slightly, and that's it. You're in the corner. It is flat out, and you get it wrong there, you're off into the gravel in
Leclerc
the background.
up to third.
1:31.032. So it's McLaren, Red Bull, and Ferrari, McLaren, Racing Point.
For those of you who weren't with us this morning, Sky replayed with big red letters when Vettel got past him in the the Turkey race. And Turkey race. Turkey race.
Turkey
race. It was Thanksgiving. The turkeys have sadly not raced very well because they were all eaten for Thanksgiving yesterday. Anyway, and we've got Christmas coming up, so it's not a good time for turkeys.
Nope.
But having
or
said
chickens that way.
Oh yeah, chicken. People have chickens there.
Vettel goes to fourth, 1:31.038.
I've got a feeling the resurgence of Vettel, the resurgence of Ferrari, the resurgence of Vettel. Right, we're going to see a good race from Vettel this weekend. But what we were saying about Leclerc,
that time deleted Vettel
made that one mistake and lost the podium. Right, and he forgot what he was doing. He went on the radio.
Yeah.
Apologised to everyone, and then realised, oh God, I'm still in the race.
Yeah, had to go on with it, and that's why he lost out to Vettel as well. Vettel has just had a lap time deleted for track limits at turn 4, so that's still becoming an issue today. That's what Hamilton had actually, his lap time deleted. But the top 3 are separated by less than half a tenth of a second.
Where does Kvyat find that time in Sector 2 that he can't find in the straights of Sector 3? It's unbelievable. It's as if I know you're going uphill now, Kvyat, and round the bend.
At the top of the hill.
This should be where you're not. You're slower going down that hill than you should be. It's really weird.
Ferrari hoping to capitalise this weekend on what should be the last chance for Abu Dhabi to attack for third place in the Constructors' Championship. Next weekend's 87-lap Shakir Grand Prix at this track, but on the outer loop, it becomes more of an oval race for Formula One.
Look at those tyres, the way they're degrading in the very centre.
Yeah,
that means that's not often in Formula One. It's usually a situation where you degrade either from the left or right-hand side of the tyre.
This one's slap bang in the middle, yeah.
This one is slap bang in the middle. And it was causing a lot of problems in Formula 2 qualifying before this practice session. And, it's something they've got to get used to. And they weren't getting more than, on their tyres, they weren't getting more than one good lap on them.
No, they weren't. And the constant red flags as well in the F2 qualifying. That was just before this.
Callum Ilott, well done to Callum. He topped the charts in qualifying. And
gets the points for pole position. Extends his lead in the championship as well to Mick Schumacher. Verstappen was just on the radio saying, "Who's that in front of me? He's drifting very nicely." It was Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton then came on the radio and said that he's got no grip out here. So the track temperature currently at 26 degrees, air temperature at 25, so it's pretty consistent, but the tyres not switching on. And they were both on the Pirelli 2021 tyre compounds. They're just not switching on yet.
Yeah, remember, practice 2 is usually the way they're going to go in the race.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're seeing them more in first gear than lagging behind in reverse.
Like they were this morning, yeah. Knew where you're going, that one. There's already 27 minutes have flown by in this session because we've actually had more cars out on the track.
AlphaTauri's, that's an AlphaTauri, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
Russell. It's Russell. Yeah, we picked up Russell.
That's actually doing really well on the straights, which is good to see.
Let's see, what is it?
From either Williams or AlphaTauri.
Coming through the back half of turn 12, usually you're seeing about 163 miles an hour averaged. They're averaging around about 163 as well. So
just look at Russell going down that straight on the driver tracker. You know, he's getting some speed up there.
He's really starting to push out hard now, which is the best news.
Which is where we said in the AlphaTauri was on the second straight and in sector 2, the AlphaTauri was doing well, and then as soon as it got to that straight on the third section, it wasn't actually going. It was a bit like Bottas, which is just
slap bang. Yeah, Russell's gone 15th. Russell's gone 15th. I'm trying to look at the time. A 1:32.404. Vettel has now finally set a time. He's gone to 5th place on 1:31.223. However, his times were not good enough. Yeah.
Christian wants to point out that the new Spice Girls CD is available from all good retailers, including Amazon.
Have they got it? Have they got one? I didn't realise they had one this year.
Yeah, it's Spice Girls, The Greatest Hits, Volume 27.
I can only think of 2.
You should be so lucky. That's Kylie. She's magic at the moment. Oh, that's an advert for her CD. Kylie's new LP, LP is showing me age. CD is called Magic.
And right now there's a lot of work going on. I'll tell you
who has got a good record out. Right, you remember her who did Murder on the Dance Floor?
Yep.
Yeah, she's got Murder at the Disco or something now, and it's because during lockdown she was entertaining everyone online, wasn't she?
Oh, I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, her Sophie Alex Bextor, is it?
I think it is. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, I remember when her mum was having her on, and was a presenter on Blue Peter.
Yeah.
We've got absolutely nobody writing in.
I don't think that chat's working, actually.
I don't think the chat's working. We had this on the
couple of months
on the eSports. It wasn't doing anything.
At the moment.
On the other hand, we might have bored everyone this morning and no one's listening to us now.
Well, the radio ones probably are. But there's Perez coming through.
Hang on. Get into me DJ mode. Hi, this is Heavy Early. I'm asking the question that all late night disc jockeys ask
everyone listening
all over the world. Is there anybody out there?
Well, everyone listening on SoundCloud can probably hear exactly the same thing, which is
this is SoundCloud.
As I'm not actually sure where our coverage is coming from at the moment because I'm not sure.
I don't know where we're going.
Computer seems to have had a bit of a freeze and meltdown.
Computer says no.
Why
aren't we on? I want to be on.
Well, I've just got to check something at the moment.
I comb my ear for this.
Verstappen heading back out on the track now. I think he's gone out on a new set of medium compounds he has,
those tyres which have done about 3 laps. They're saving them for. They're saving them, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've brought him in and taken them off. Just a little scrub down, they'll be fine.
And Verstappen heading out on a brand new set of medium compound tyres, which is of the 2020.
Just surface crack in there, which is nothing.
They are the 2020 tyre brackets.
That's what you call once they've been washed down and put a bit of brush on them, they're what you call scrubs.
Raikkonen's gone fastest, a 1:39.28 at the moment. So the fastest second sector time of anyone, a 39.
Giovinazzi, this is where I think he's got. When the others are a bit like it's the end of the season. This is why the likes of Giovinazzi should be pushing to show what you can do, and George. You know,
Raikkonen back in the car
Latifi.
this afternoon as well, so he's already outshining Giovinazzi, who, as you said, 90 more minutes of practice.
Albon had a great race, great
Practice one this morning, yeah.
One this morning. But then again, when the pressure's off, he often does.
Albon has got two
Where's
more...
Riverson and
Not yet there. Put me off a track there. Albon has...
I can't talk to him all day. Somebody asked the question. I'll ask the question.
Russell goes to 13th at 1:31.937. Albon's got two more races to prove why he wants the Red Bull seat, why he deserves the Red Bull seat. A lot of rumours that they've already signed Nico Hülkenberg. Sergio Perez downplaying his chances now of being in a Red Bull next year. Very much looking to take a sabbatical.
Callum Eilert looks like he's going to lose out.
On the Formula 2?
On a main race. No, he'll probably win that. Mazepan and Mick Schumacher are looking like they're going to get the Haas drive.
Schumacher and a Haas I could see because Alpha's locked in. So
and I don't think there's anybody else available. Is there? Any seats available?
Well, Red Bull secured the second Alpha Touray is available.
To be honest, I will be surprised. Right, I think they'll give him another 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't think Albon's going anywhere. Well, no, I could be wrong. Dr. Marco can have breakfast and decide.
Yeah, he said that he wasn't going to get rid of Danny Kvyat from the Red Bull team. And then on the Monday, he was gone. And Gasly the same. Wasn't going to get rid of him. Come back from the summer break. All of a sudden, Alexander Albon's in the car. Albon has had a full season now in that car, if you think about it. So,
and if you think that's cruel,
he's done the same.
It is in a way, but it's not, because Dr. Marco is an expert. You think what he's done as the boss in his career, right? He's impressive. Not as impressive as Toto. Right,
go on.
You know, Dr. Marco oversees the entire. He was a racer himself, lost an eye during his racing career, and was racing at a time where you started a race and didn't know if everyone would finish.
His friend was Jochen Rindt, of course. Classmates at
school. They used to sneak off.
Yeah.
In an afternoon.
And go
watching it.
Yeah, the testing.
Testing, and things like that. Right, great career, great person, expert at a driver. He can see a driver. I mean, one of our old managers here at Grimsby, George Kerr, he said he used to be able to, within 1 minute, could tell you what level that player is looking at will reach.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally you're going to get that wrong, but 9 times out of 10, George got it right. And I think some of the big boys in this sport, like Frank Williams and that, Frank was an expert at telling.
Oh, constantly
telling. Which driver was going to be good and which driver was going to be mediocre and which would never do it in a million years.
And I think, as we just see, the top three have changed again. Verstappen on 1:29.318, Gasly second, Albon third. That's what we were touching on this morning as well, about who's going to be the next biggest superstar in Formula One. It's too close to call, as Raikkonen has a moment coming out of turn two.
And Raikkonen, I think, will end up in WEC.
Yeah.
And I think
save that one, though.
Sebastian, despite the fact that all his protestations that he will not, right, I think he will end up as a team principal one day.
I think he will, I completely agree with that. Vettel has got. I think he's lined up to be Aston Martin team principal when he retires.
Yeah.
That's more his style. British and German team.
Christian wasn't the best driver in the world by a mile.
No.
But he had it in his head.
And he
knows what he's doing. Yeah. And although I call him Spice Boy, right, the guy is, if you what he has achieved for a guy that wasn't a top racing driver, right? He had it in his brain. He just couldn't do it. But one thing he can do is pass it on and be a team principal that has had a lot success.
And that's exactly what he's done as well.
Was it 185 trophies that Red Bull have won up to now?
Or still in the factory at Milton Keynes as well.
Yeah, some of them might be real, because didn't they have did they ever get them? Because somebody rammed the Milton Keynes. I think they got them all back. It wasn't the Vettel part of it. It was the other, wasn't it?
It was Weber's and Coulthard's and all that. Like, they stole their first ever trophy as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
From Monaco.
I don't know if they got them back.
I think they did. I think I read somewhere that they got them back. If any of you know, let us know.
I'm glad because, you know, replicas just
the only thing that would be replicas,
quite the same, but they look the same. If you've ever been to Old Trafford, and you see the European Cups,
replicas,
still look impressive, even though you know the replicas.
Yeah. Well, the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship that every driver has owned is a replica because it's not the real one.
And of course the Silverstone,
the gold trophy,
British Grand Prix trophy, the gold one. You get that for 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then the rest of the one you actually get is a replica, and it's a bit smaller actually as well. And you get to keep the actual trophy that you won the race with, which Lewis Hamilton complained about a couple of years ago.
In football for years, in the League Cup, you got tankards. Instead of the medal, and
doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't.
You don't want a tankard on the wall. You want some sort
of
medal.
It's nice though.
Yeah.
I saw one of your mum's friends was a goalkeeper for West Brom, and in the 1967 final. And he brought his tankard to show me. And they are impressive.
Yeah.
But I think he'd rather have had a medal.
I think everybody wants a medal.
Yeah.
It's like
one of the drivers for France.
Just having radio in her ear.
Yeah.
Just told her about the tailwind into turn 1. And that was, I can tell you, Alexander Albon's engineer, who's just talking in our ears as well, just telling you about the headwinds decreased but into turn 4, but has increased into turn number 1. Back to you, what you were saying about medals?
Yeah, well, one of the drivers, when I was a warehouse manager, he played for Bolton in one of their cup finals. And he brought, to show me and the lads, his medal once.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a medal.
Yeah.
It is a proper medal, and it is the thing. But you know,
it means something.
Yeah. Whereas here, you get a trophy that gets taken away.
Right? I think they need
all the way up to this formula. You keep your trophy.
Yes, Formula 2, you keep it Formula 3, and Formula 4.
You know, I know. Danny Rick's mum says there's a garage full at home.
Albon's been told there's just needs so much front grip on the second run as well. So Albon's sliding at the back as well, and he's too much front heavy.
Joshua has a fencing trophy that he hasn't been able to pick up. It was for, was it 60 foot of fencing?
What? 60 foot? Oh, dear. No, it's the bronze award for completing the lower tier.
Megan and Joshua both fence.
But not together, strangely enough.
You've got to fight for.
Yeah, Megan has never actually been fencing at the same time I was. But no, I've completed the bronze level of the necessary qualifications. I was on silver, then the pandemic hit. So and now I work on Monday, so I could probably only do Wednesdays going forward, which is difficult. So yeah. I have to see what we can do about that. Maybe move that to Tuesday and have Mondays and Wednesdays free.
And he's promised us that he will eventually clean this commentary box.
I came in this morning and I just found a massive cobweb that's still there, just in front of the webcam. So I've cleaned it a little bit. But
I can see that.
It's bigger than it looks, this commentary box.
And there's that spider there.
Yeah, this commentary box.
Wow, that's a big one. Do you know, if this was Australia, I'd be worried about that.
I can see a little spider.
I know, he's tiny.
But honestly, I was
just making out he's really big.
I can see the big one. This commentary box.
Yeah, good luck to Holly. Although, you know, she was our Paralympian from around here.
Oh yes.
Your mum knew her as well from when she was little because your nana knew her mum.
Yeah.
Holly Arnold, who is in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
And in Wales.
Not that I watch it.
It's in Wales at the moment this year.
It's
isn't
in Wales in a castle.
Yeah, no longer in Australia because
in the
of the pandemic.
In Australia.
But Sky F1 have just got an ad break, so this is what we were talking about in practice.
So this is where we have our driver tracker.
To keep an eye on things.
Raikkonen is going behind Giovinazzi, but Gasly is coming up fast, and Stroll's actually easing off a bit. So I think he's trying to get a gap there. Kvyat and Vettel is getting a toe off Kvyat.
Yeah, Stroll's backed out on this lap.
Lewis is fast approaching Magnussen. Now this is going to be something, right?
Back off just a little bit.
Yeah, he must have been told by the pits that, come on, Magnussen's in the way, Kevin.
Magnussen's on a lap
Kevin's
time.
going. Kevin is going, as you all know. And he's going to where?
IMSA.
The WEC, American version of WEC.
Yeah, the IMSA series, which is run as the Daytona 24 Hours and actually shares a class with the World Endurance Championship now. It's the Le Mans Daytona Hybrid, so it's the LMDH.
How does he know that?
Don't say it, because they can't see what we're on about.
Well, the people who are watching in this country are watching Sky can.
Yeah, this is an advert for
There's
AWS.
an advert, these little go-go's. You know,
it's the AWS.
How does Crofty know that?
Yeah, it's the well, I think that's the question everybody
It's in
asks.
the script.
Yeah, it's the question everybody asks. How does
This
Crofty
isn't
know that?
WWF. We're not scripted.
No. Going for...
That'll upset me nephew because he loves WWF.
Don't think anything could upset him. Or maybe a couple of things I can think of. Going forward, Giovinazzi just crossing the line, but Lance Stroll looks to have stopped on the track. There's a red box just come across his name, and he says stopped on the circuit. I can't see where he is.
I think he's gone green again.
Yeah, he's just had a little spin, I think, coming through turn 13.
When they come back, we'll probably find. And Stroll, and Grosjean. I think you're going to find out it's something to do with Grosjean as well.
Yeah, because Grosjean was ahead
Grosjean
of Kvyat,
was actually on the driver tracker. Actually, just when they Stroll restarted off, Grosjean appeared from him. So you know, on the sticker.
We'll keep an eye out going forward what all that was about. Vettel and Hamilton are together on the circuit.
Well, at least 30 seconds to go before
we see if anything happened or
what
not.
happened if they want to repeat it.
Just to go through the times quickly, it's Verstappen, Perez, and Gasly, the top three. The top time from Verstappen at 1:29.318 at the moment, and that's why he's got the purple box alongside his name. He is the fastest driver.
I have no idea why Sky don't do what they do for IndyCar. This is the F1 channel, which people pay for, right? And you are having adverts in between. You should be actually just showing the whole lot.
I agree, yeah.
Right? And putting longer adverts on either end of it.
I've been saying that for years as well.
Yeah, you put your adverts during the bits where you're talking behind the scenes. You don't put them in the middle of the practice session that people have paid for.
The only good thing is that we don't have it in qualifying in the race, but I do agree with you. The adverts during the practice sessions are very, very annoying. I think everyone could have been.
Oh, we've got someone.
Hello, Ethan.
Hi.
The group chat.
So people are listening to us.
Well, we are on air. I'm just glad that the group chat's working again. I think he's had a reset.
Oh, one from Sky. Stick to boring people.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. That's nice of a minute. I bet it's Airbit that.
We're back with pictures. Vettel's just coming to the line.
Johnny.
Vettel's 15th at the moment. Does improve to 6th on 1:31.18. Oh, sorry. As it corrects itself on the monitor.
There was a good driver. A good
Johnny
number
Herbert.
two, Johnny Herbert. He's really, really good driver. If that accident hadn't happened, he would have been a world champion.
Brands Hatch 88.
For those of you who don't know,
86?
Johnny's crash he nearly took his foot off. He was only hanging by his skin, and it
was really bad accident.
It was really, really bad. And even today, when he goes through, he's got a scooter, like Lewis. But even today, you have the situation where if his feet start hurting them as they're going down the paddock, right? The doctor from that particular team will come rushing out
and help him
and
out,
help him massage it and things like that. It's still today, and you think he had all his wins came after that crash.
Yeah.
So he's an amazing guy.
3 victories.
Johnny is amazing.
95 Silverstone, 95.
You can't get up on a higher chair.
Yeah.
But
95 Silverstone, as I said, 95 Monza, 99 at the Nürburgring. Some classic races he won, actually, all of them. 2 of them, Schumacher was taken out by Damon Hill. And the one in 99, it was the rain-affected one with the Stuart Grand Prix.
will say on we're having a little shot, and those brakes are really not red hot. But this morning in GP2, Formula 2 practice, we did have the situation where some of them's brakes was glowing a lot. Maybe that's significant with the vehicle because they're all the same in Formula 2.
Yeah. Here it looks like the Renault's brake discs.
The Renaults look fine.
A little bit of a redness on the inside, just near the wheel nut, but I can't see anything else.
And we've got Brad 14 with a high.
Hello. We've got more action on the circuit. A lot more interesting this one than it was practice one.
We were dead interesting this morning because there was nothing to see, so we were dead interesting, and we were talking about things like, right, what about when Lewis and Raikkonen and Verstappen, not Verstappen,
Raikkonen,
Lewis, Sebastian, I meant to say.
Yeah.
What about when they leave? Oh,
Yeah.
it's retracted it.
Oh, it must have been an error.
Oh, that's nice. He says hello and then it goes again.
I think it must have been in it. It might be just be our screen.
So who do you lot think? What will happen? Will it be a situation like in MotoGP where you've got this situation in MotoGP this year where Mark is not there,
Marc
and so
Marquez is out.
you've had 9 winners.
And it's been a completely unpredictable season.
We had that in British touring cars last season as well,
Yep.
where there was multiple winners, and it increased the viewing figures. And that's the idea that of sport, is to get more people interested and actually increase the viewing figures.
So I think if Lewis and Sebastian do return, there's no clear
Well,
attacker.
Lewis is
will
saying
have
that's
high
at
viewing
least
figures.
2 or 3 years away before he retires.
Coincidentally enough, exactly when Sky Sports' F1 UK deal runs out.
Yeah, also the fact that it's when the amount of money that you're allowed to pay drivers.
Comes in,
He was
yeah.
emphasising that this weekend, that he won't be here when the driver's cap comes in.
In 2023, although it's rumoured, I heard earlier on, that it could be pushed up to 2022. So,
I mean,
it strengthens the 1 year rumour.
why I disagree with it. There's only Vettel and Giovinazzi and Norris and Ricciardo on the track.
Yeah, only 4.
Where I disagree with it. I know you're trying to control the money so that more, it's more even in Formula One.
Yeah.
But you just drive the talented drivers to America where the money is.
That's exactly where Grosjean's rumoured to be heading. Or Magnussen's gone.
Whatever top sport you play in the United States, and whoever you are, whether you're the quarterback or whether you're one of the runners that things, you get vast amounts of money, a lot more than you do in sport anywhere else, and they're paid because of the amount of money they bring into the sport. The Premiership footballers are paid because of the amount of money they bring into the sport, right? And that's the same here.
Yeah.
I think pay for the best.
And that's why Renault spent so much getting Fernando Alonso back to develop their car for 2022 and 2023.
I mean, to the driver, it's about the nest egg, I suppose, for the thing, because while they're driving, there's not many of them could actually spend the amount of money that they're paid. It's just lying in the bank for the future.
Yeah, they're just collecting it for a big pension, really. So 1 race win for Sebastian Vettel when he was at Red Bull. That was £1 million.
Well, you still do get that.
Yeah.
Right. What's he called? The boss of Red Bull?
Dietrich Mateschitz.
Mateschitz had it last year or the year before where the team lost Ricciardo and Verstappen
a race win
and actually paid the £1 million bonus.
Yeah.
So they still get the £1 million bonus at Red Bull.
And that's what I was on about, because imagine how many millions Vettel won. Vettel won 9 races in a row in 2013.
I wonder who Brad 14 is.
Won 11 in total that year. So we had 11 million quid extra to a contract.
Welcome,
so
whoever he is.
Think about that's 11 million quid that you're not going to spend all in probably his life. So he's going to have all these drivers going to have so much money that
they
the
used
kids
to
can
have
have
the
it.
situation. I saw an interview years and years and years ago, before all of you lot were probably born, and it was Sir Paul McCartney, and he said that if he loaded his car up with £20 notes and went from Carlisle to London and continually threw out £20 notes out of the car window, that by the time he got to London, he'd have more money than when he started.
Bloody hell.
You swore.
It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's the amount of money the Beatles earned.
Yeah. Well, Martin Brundle said it once as well, that Michael Schumacher a supremely fit racing driver, and Murray said, and Martin came and said, and so he should be. He's only about $1 million a week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 17 or 18 million pound. He built a castle.
Yeah,
Michael did to house his cars
in Switzerland, wasn't it? Just alongside.
Yeah.
And Mick, of course, going for his Formula 2 World Championship, which has been officially a championship of the world. So just like in Moto 2, Moto 3, they're world champions in effect, which is great news. Formula E also becoming a world championship for electrics.
Sebastian Vettel is looking forward to the close season. The boxes are already out on his desk. He's got a moped that he's been rebuilding for 5 years, and he's very particular about it, isn't he?
Yeah,
it's his way of. He says he has two ways of relaxing. One is doing his motorcycle, which he's took to pieces, and he's trying to recreate and replace everything. And the other is a weird one. He's got a sit-on lawnmower.
Yeah,
and he likes cutting the grass.
Just goes around cutting the grass. Yeah. It's his way of relaxing, really, isn't it?
Raikkonen would probably beat him because he's very good on a lawnmower.
We've seen how good Raikkonen can be on a lawnmower race before. Perez into turn 1. He's on a lap time. Now, what's that steering wheel say if we get it right? Ideally, we could do with driver's eye at this point to have a look, but Formula E had it, they're not. So, 7th gear. He's 2/10 down, now 1/10 down on Verstappen's time. What's his brake balance at?
The mode is 2.
He's at 100. So he's got his steering wheel in kilometres an hour, not miles per hour. So he's at 230, 240 kilometres an hour. Down now. He's 1.2 seconds off his own best time.
And if you look at that, the lights are actually different colours, and they tell the driver things as well.
Albon on the radio saying that his temperature still looks high, so another cool lap. And Bad drives to the pit lane. So, yeah, Albon's in 7th at the moment, going straight through. Perez at the back half of the track. They haven't actually turned down the brightness of the rev display.
Do we actually know that Grosjean's going to WEC for certain now?
Not just yet, although it's heavily
I know
rumoured
he's
that
interested
off
in...
there.
His wife is like the presenter of something like the One Show. She started off in GP2.
She was the GP2
reporter. And, they you know...
That's when they met, GP2.
He's
moved to Formula 1, yeah.
One of the things I think is that he's got a lovely life outside Formula 1. And, you know...
Yes, he does. And what was
he
it, 4
seems very
kids?
happy. His kids.
Yeah.
The eldest one always tells him, well, you crashed. It was your own fault, and tells him why.
That's exactly what you should do. Criticism works both ways with racing drivers. I mean, you see the parents as well of, well, take Jos Verstappen for instance. I can't wait until the day Max finally realises that what Jos was doing was completely insane.
Well,
leaving it at the gas station because he finished 2nd and to walk home. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous.
It was only 7 miles.
Walking 7 miles still. I don't know.
It was only 7 miles, and he did have a light.
Jos always strikes me
Didn't have any fags, that's all.
Jos always strikes me as well as somebody who punch first, ask questions later. But he's a bit of a PK.
Anybody who can, look up the pictures of Michael when Sebastian and Ralph were karting days. And Michael would vehemently pass on his information to them of what they should be doing whilst mending their own the carts for them. And getting the best out of the carts and things like that. And there's a picture, and it looks like of Michael driving the Transit and shouting, well, not shouting, but sternly talking, giving Sebastian a big talking to, and Sebastian's just looking out the window.
Yeah, not listening. Ralph did the same thing, actually, didn't he?
Yeah.
We've got Bottas into 2nd.
I must say, Mick is going for the championship with our own Callum Ilott, and in F2 this weekend. And I must say that Ralph Schumacher,
yeah,
for his son David and for Mick, is really there for him.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. He's really like a doting dad and a doting uncle, and it's really nice to see. You know, he is doing it in a different way to what Mick did with him.
I'm honestly thinking, as Gasly's been told to pass Albon and dear.
It must be nice for Mick to have Sebastian and Ralph around to give their knowledge to him.
Not that Sebastian can go into the Formula 2 paddock, unfortunately, which is still the rules.
We've got
Albon.
Yeah.
And that's Alexander Albon at the last corner, and it's triggered the
I believe he hit the wall on the other side.
That's a big accident.
That's a new chassis.
So he's come out of the last corner, and he must have hit the inside wall. The front wing's off, and Alexander Albon has completely destroyed the right-hand side of the car.
He's done a spinny, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There, kids. There's the excitement.
So that is a big accident.
And you know,
is he okay?
He looks okay.
Yes, he sounds okay. I'm always surprised if the wind's been knocked out of him. That was a very big accident.
Well, it will be. I want to see how it happened. I think
he's coming out of the last corner. I bet you got across
put it on the paint or on the grass.
And it's lost. Okay, so here it is on board. So down into the last corner, turn 14, turns the car, hits the apex, gets on the paint of the AstroTurf and just spins him up on the dust, flicks the car the opposite direction, straight into the barrier, destroying both the front and the back.
Flicked him round. So he didn't hit the other side. It was because he flicked him round.
Yeah, so he turns in.
Here's a view from the other side.
Right-hand corner, drifts out to the left, picks up on the dust that we saw Grosjean do earlier, spits him round to the left, backwards into the wall, and destroys the right-hand side of the car. And that was a nasty impact to go in front first, effectively, and the car bounced back. That's a new chassis, new engine, new gearbox, new everything.
Yeah.
That's probably Albon standing in the back.
What we said earlier, that's the worst thing for Alex.
Yeah.
Right, because we said we thought he was going to get another 6 months. Dr. Marco might, because that was clearly his fault.
That was driver error, that one, unfortunately. Let's hear from Albon.
That's too much.
Albon just said, sorry, guys, on the radio.
Too much approach speed. Locking the braking on the rear in a place where there's not as much grip on that paint, and it just spun it round.
That sand that blew in over the circuit.
That's such a shame for Alex. He's had some good. I mean, this morning in that very car, he topped the timesheets. So
for a few moments,
but that won't go down well with Red Bull.
Where's he walked into now? I don't know where that is on the pit straight. It looks like it's
the medical
exit,
car's trying to find him.
And now they're going to repair the barrier and get rid of that car. But that's one beaten up Red Bull. So what? The floor's done, the engine's done, the chassis done.
It's the other side that's real damage.
Yeah, the left-hand side's fine.
It's smashed into the engine and the gearbox on the other side.
Yeah.
And by the look of it, it's shoved the struts and the suspension struts on the rear into the gearbox as well.
Gearbox done then. So that's a 5-place grid penalty before you even start. And that's a new engine as well. Yeah, I think that's Albon starting from the back of the grid with that type of accident, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that's crucial, as we were talking about earlier. This free practice 2, as the helicopter has a little bit of a moment, this free practice 2 session is the only time they get to run in full night conditions for the race and qualifying. So they've lost out on 40 minutes of running.
Dr. Marco there looking at the figures and wondering what happened.
So
he'll know exactly in his mind what was possibly things. But that is an awful lot of damage. Well, let's take the back off for a start. So you take the engine and the gearbox off.
Yeah.
Right, and just leave the monocoque. The monocoque looks okay. You've got to suit some
floors damaged.
Floors damaged beyond repair. Nose is just a quick nose job. Things
they
like
might be able to use part of that. Yeah.
Now they already have the rear section of that car built up.
Yeah. So
right, you take that engine panel off, and then about a third of the way up that engine panel from the back, there is where you bolt on the rear of the car. And I think it's going to be. We've obviously need the front suspension.
Yeah.
Rears. And the rear. I think everything from that bit where you actually turn.
That'll give us a better angle.
Yeah. You can see. Look.
Engine's gone, suspension's gone.
There is one worry there. It looks like he's gone too far up, and it might be monocoque damage.
I was just thinking that because it looks like it's punctured the top of the monocoque and the safety survival cell as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Albon flying into the wall sideways.
Disaster. The absolute disaster for Alex. He was doing so well this morning.
Gasly was following behind him, and I bet that's Gasly smiling a little bit because he might get the Red Bull seat next year if he's promoted up. He may have signed a contract with AlphaTauri, but that's no confirming that he's going to stay there. So red flag is out again, and the session is stopped.
The only thing you can say that it might not be driver's fault is if they find something has gone wrong.
He got on he ran wide, and it doesn't look like the steering was moving too much. So he's got on the curb at the exit, then got on this sand.
Locking of the brakes definitely happened. Now that can actually be due to the drive-by-wire system as well.
But he didn't look like under load.
He was on the paint, the nice Abu Dhabi style murals that are on each corner. There's no grip on them.
Just slid off completely. We saw that earlier on with Grosjean. He nearly went off the track. Raikkonen did the same.
Lewis was saying he's got no grip earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Worcestershire stone. In this tarmac, the stone bits are Worcestershire stone.
Yeah.
And so it's more abrasive, but should be more grip. And the fact that Lewis was saying there isn't any grip,
surprising.
Is surprising.
It's a tyre destroyer, this place. The rear tyres here at the Shakir circuit are eaten up dramatically. That's why we see usually 2 stops here, because he can never make it to the end. But this is going to be a long time back now to try and get this one restarted. So we're under a red flag here at the Bahrain International Circuit for round 15. I think that was buggers. But yeah. So session stopped.
People we know and our normal contributors are starting to appear on the contribution. Welcome back, and welcome to the new ones as well. Brad 14 retracted his message. I don't know why.
I think he's still there. We have that glitch sometimes. But hello, everybody. Welcome along. So we'll run through the times quickly.
Yes, Albon has crashed.
Yeah, big time.
Unfortunately, Alex is British with a Thai national flag around him.
Yeah.
So we support him. And
heartbreaking
to be honest,
isn't it? Again and
right,
again.
As I was saying earlier, he's usually a lot better and more relaxed in
practice.
The practice sessions.
It looked like a mistake combined with driver error.
Yeah, it didn't look like car.
No, that was not car. That was a mistake and driver error, which doesn't look good for him, as we were saying. But
he'd run wide. He'd approached the corner too fast. He wasn't. His braking line was funny, and it caused. When he tried to correct it, it looked like he kinked it, and which is your favourite word at the moment. Kinked it.
That's exactly what it is. And just went into the backwards. He was turning into the last corner, turned 14. He was going into right-hand corner, ran wide to the left over the as you say, the funny paint that's laid down here. The
mosaic paint.
The mosaic paint. The sand's on there as well. Lost the car.
It's even on the driver tracker, look.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It is actually on our driver tracker.
On the posh driver tracker that we've got, it's even got all the different runoffs, what's on them. And
he just, basically Albon just spun round to the left, into the barrier, end off.
Of course, this is practice, so the clock is actually still ticking. We've got 35 minutes to go.
Yep, 35 minutes 45 left.
Max Verstappen tops the chart, doesn't he?
Yep, Verstappen top 129.318.
He's definitely saying it's purple down here for Max.
Yep, and it's Bottas, Perez, Gasly, Ricciardo, Norris, Stroll, Kvyat, Albon, and Vettel, the top 10.
Yeah,
Hamilton's 20th.
At stages. Yeah, well, Lewis is just... He proved it this morning that he was fine.
Yeah, he was fastest this morning, so it just happens, doesn't it?
No, he won fastest.
Hamilton did top the session with Bottas.
I thought Alex did.
Alex was down the order in the end.
Oh, in the end,
yeah. But he was topping the main part.
Well, I was asleep in that.
I think everybody was.
Everyone was. There was not a lot doing.
There's the Alta circuit, as you can see, right at the top with the little chicane we used back in 2010, and that's what we're going to be racing on next weekend. So we cut out the middle section of this track, and that is going to be like an oval.
Wow, exciting. Never mind.
87 laps, 55 seconds.
It is going to be basically an oval, isn't it?
Yeah, 87 laps, 55-second lap times they're predicting. Qualifying is going to be insane. The race, unbelievable.
It'd be just an experiment by Liberty
this to see which works. Yeah,
to see what works, because the thing about IndyCar was we were talking earlier. You know, IndyCar. The thing is, there's 3 different types of track in IndyCar.
Yeah.
And
road, street, and oval.
Oval. And it works, you know, because you do have also in IndyCar, you know how these drivers could ever win the championship. But there's certain drivers that just won't race the ovals.
Yeah. Max Chilton doesn't race ovals bar of the Indy 500. He found it too dangerous. And to be fair, it's sensible considering what happened to Robert Wickens at Pocono.
Oh, yeah, Robert. I mean,
yeah,
he was showing signs of being able to walk slightly again.
And that was the best thing as well. And then, of course, thinking about it.
He's brilliant in that wheelchair.
Thinking about it as well.
You think it was motorised, the things he can do in that wheelchair.
Robert Wickens, of course, a British driver. Sorry, British. What am I saying? That was Justin Wilson. He was killed at Pocono, which is what my sentence was.
Wickens
Canadian.
He's
Canadian,
he's Canadian.
Yeah. But I can tell you what, though.
He comes from Canada.
I was at Silverstone covering the 6 hours for World Endurance back in 2018, and we were on air when the accident happened. And I didn't find out until after we'd gone off air, but I could sense something had gone on in the paddock because all the drivers suddenly disappeared very quietly into their motorhomes.
The race weekend before, he had done a lot of leading of the laps.
He did, yeah. He looked to have
at the race, and then was shunted off by what's his name? The one that's always shunting people.
I think it was Sato, wasn't it?
No, it was the lad that lives with.
It was a long time ago, wasn't it?
His brother's Formula One. His dad was Formula One.
That means I don't know.
He lived with one of the other drivers.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably remember in a second.
Wasn't it him who shunted him off?
Yes, I think it was.
On one of the corners.
Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, the last interview the day I got.
Can you imagine? Because he's a nice lad. He must have been distraught over what had happened.
Completely, yeah.
A lot of them are
Hunter Ray hit him
totally different.
Hunter
Ray.
Hunter Ray and him crashed at Pocono. That's when the accident happened. But yeah.
Yeah, but Riverson, it says he's looking forward to next week's race because it's going to be fast.
Oh, it is going to be. I can't wait to see that one.
Because, you know, you're just taking out that section 2 and
it's going to be
up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We're getting ready to go green here, though, at Bahrain, and green light. The session is back underway. For practice 2, 32 minutes to get the action back out. But yeah, as I was saying,
you can see the rainbow on the medical car really clearly now.
Yeah, which is brilliant news.
It's been on there all season, but people.
I'm surprised they did. I was thinking they were going to take it off for Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, and I'm glad they've kept it on.
Why?
Red
they
flag.
Don't like it themselves.
Sorry to cut across.
Red flag again.
Red flag's out again, and I don't know why. The session stopped. Now we've just got cars coming out of the pit lane. And all of a sudden, the red flag's been called. And we've got cars now left at the exit of the pit lane. Perez and Leclerc are there.
Have
Vettel
they found
as well.
Damage to the
Armco barrier. I was just thinking that. Well, red flag is out again.
And if it's damage to the Armco barrier, you can forget the rest of the session.
Now do you remember what we were talking about this morning about it's a dog? Well, there's a dog on the circuit and the red flag has come out. And I've never seen a dog on the circuit here at Bahrain before. Now, we had this in Turkey in the delay to qualifying 2 weeks ago. But there is a dog on the circuit and the red flag has come back out. He's a very happy little dog.
He's got a collar on.
Yeah, so, he escaped from the paddock somewhere. That's, oh, dear. Well, we had that back at Turkey 2 weeks ago, the Golden Retriever.
That's a nice light thing.
Yeah. So the dog's ran off the circuit and is seemingly okay, thank God. We know what that happened. And what is happening here? We have a mechanic on the floor looking to be from AlphaTauri. Or is he a photographer? I'm not too sure. There's someone in the pit lane laying down. And you're never allowed to do that, even if you're a photographer, mind. Never, ever lay down in the pit lane. Ricardo on the radio saying, I just saw a dog. That's what's triggered the red flag. Hello, everybody, by the way, in the group chat. Hello. Good evening. We'll get to you in a moment. But the red flag's out again as there's a dog on the circuit. And is there more dogs then?
Yeah, we expected it last time at Turkey. There was a lot of wild dogs around the track in Turkey.
They had this in India
and over the
as
years,
well,
they've had quite a few things. Yeah, India the same.
I mean,
Vettel wants to know if his dog's been let out.
Vettel's just gone woof woof over the radio. Vettel's just got told by his agent there's a dog on the circuit, and Vettel went woof woof.
It is a bit woof that we are having to stop the race for a second time.
Yeah, so we're back into the pit lane then, and they'll restart the session in about 2 minutes' time. So we'll go again. So dog on track. I haven't seen that, but I saw it now. The problem is, as I said, last week we saw, 2 weeks ago, we saw the dog on the circuit during the delay period. Actually,
I told you this morning, he's got such a British sense of humour.
Sebastian Vettel on the radio.
Of course, he's married to a British girl, so...
Sebastian Vettel on the radio saying, "Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof." And then going saying that if I knew that dogs was allowed, I would have brought mine. But unfortunately, he's in quarantine.
Do you want to know want to know what Sebastian's dog's called?
Which one is it?
It's called Bruno.
Is it Bruno?
It is. After Bruno Senna.
I think that's right. I can remember, yeah. So in they come then. Now the red flags come back out. And
it looked a posh dog, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It was
well groomed.
Yeah, very happy dog as well. I hope it hasn't escaped from the paddock because we do know there are dogs here. Because as you know, Lewis brings his, as we've heard. We're just saying veterinarians again. Wouldn't work out. He said, and there's another dog now.
No, that's the same dog.
So this is how he got on. Look. That's how he got on the track. He was walking along the Armco barrier, and then he found a hole and ran into the track. Well, I think that dog, well done, dog. The session will restart in around about 40 seconds' time.
Good it's not Korea, because they would have had it for dinner, wouldn't they?
There was a dog on the track in Korea as well. You just reminded me, actually, as well as a fire truck.
It escaped from McDonald's.
And talking of that, there's a burger there, but that's...
There's the car returning to the things, and they... Look at the mechanics looking at that.
This is Albon's car.
Thinking to themselves, oh, God, this is an all-nighter.
Yeah, Joe Bauer's there to take photographs. And, of course, Joe Bauer must take photographs before the Red Bull engineers touch it because the car still under regulations. What was that? Danny Kvyat's race engineer saying it's not a dog, it's a reality.
It's not a joke, it's a reality.
Oh, right, that's what he was saying. I couldn't hear him. The earphones need turning up. And we're underway. Okay, that's caught us everyone by surprise. The session's restarted, and we haven't been told by the stewards that it has gone green. So the session's underway.
There's no rumor. There's no truth in the rumor that the dog has been shot.
No. All dogs are okay, I can tell you. That's a brilliant news as well. So, dog on track. That was the message coming through from race control. As I was saying,
you don't know that. There was definitely a shot.
Back in Turkey, we had, do you remember, during the delay and red flag in qualifying 1, where we had to fill for about 40 minutes, we did have a dog run on the track, but no cars around.
I like in Canada where the groundhogs run across the track all the time.
None of them get hit, ever.
No, I've not heard. Unlike the pigeons at Phillip Island in MotoGP.
Ian only nutting it.
Yeah, what was he on that day?
Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? That the FIM stewards took 2.5 trials to work out before they finally said that was enough. I think we've got. Yeah.
How stupid is he to? He said someone put it on my meal. Right.
And failed 2 drug tests.
Yeah. They did it twice?
They did it twice and he failed twice.
Because he failed twice, not once?
Yeah, I know. It's a bit ridiculous, that.
It's a bit Lance Armstrong, that.
And then, of course, he tried to protest it, only for it to be extended from 18 months all the way down to...
4 years, isn't it?
4 years ban, yeah. Including this year. It's got 3 more year ban. Just saying from Hamilton, saying that Hamilton's backed off on his lap because he's got cars around him and he wants a clear run.
They do that in football, that if you get sent off and you protest to the FA that it was wrong and they still think it was right, then you get twice the ban.
And that's what's happened with Andrea Iannone as well. So that's led into Lorenzo Salvadori taking his ride at Aprilia in 2021. And I was thinking Bradley Smith will get it, but, whatever.
Bradders.
I think Bradders is coming into BT Sport, actually,
know,
which has got to find a new lead commentator as Keith Ewan has stepped down.
Hasn't Bradders still got his testing?
Yeah, he does, with Aprilia, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lewis Hamilton's now stopped right in the middle of the track at turn 14.
MotoGP to know that that's the way Bradders talks. Lovely lad.
Local lad. As well as the two Lowe's twins. We must say congratulations, by the way, to Sam Lowe's. He didn't win the title. He finished second, but my goodness, was that a heroic ride.
Broken hand and came second.
And that was a fantastic race back in Portugal last weekend. Keith Ewan has now left the role as lead commentator on BT Sport. Ben Edwards leaving Channel 4. It's leaving holes left, right and centre in broadcasting teams, I can tell you. Actually, so Max Verstappen has just come over the radio. No, it was Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton was just told there was a dog on the track and he said, I hope it's not Roscoe. Yeah, go on.
I'm just looking at this.
Hamilton's on the track now at the moment. He's coming into turn 9 and 10. This is the heaviest braking point on the track as well.
No, it's not Roscoe.
That's not Roscoe. Locked up on the middle. It looks like a very cute dog and he's very happy as well. So
Roscoe couldn't go that fast if he had his scooter.
He's a very lazy
dog.
That
dog was a very fast dog.
Well, it was on wheels, believe it or not. Do you remember when he put him on that?
Yeah, he put him on
the
scooter, on the skateboard.
And off he went.
Motorised skateboard, and he's going down the paddock, Roscoe, on this motorised skateboard.
Zooming up left, right and centre. But dog on track, all go now here. Hamilton's coming. Now he's 20th in the times at the moment, a 1:36.107. He has not set anywhere near fast times. He's 6.7 seconds off. He's now finally on the compound tyre, the softs, and he goes 6th, a 1:29.589. So that's a better time overall. What do you think?
Can you imagine you sat at home in Bahrain and you're watching the Formula One?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you go, it's my dog.
Yeah.
That's my dog. Please don't shoot it.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
One of them has just gone, oh, God, that's my dog.
So we're not going to have blank air. I'm going to talk.
Yeah,
Verstappen tops the chart. 1:29.319. Just being funny with Josh because he's fiddling with his MacBook.
I've just had to reply to a message.
Oh, he gets personal messages.
I hope I'm typing on the right one.
Why does your dad look better looking than you?
Just turning that off.
Something it's always been the case.
I don't know. He's not born with it. Now, back to the action as Martin Bondell's down at turn number 8, where we're seeing Romain Grosjean currently going through. And this is the downhill section of the track where Grosjean actually just made a little mistake, but we've cut away from the main feed. As the Ferrari comes through of Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz just following behind. And that downhill braking spot is going to be an overtaking thing on Sunday.
Go on, do Waterloo. Because you look like him off forever.
I'm shaving to that, so you won't be seeing this tomorrow. As well. But going forward as well. Well, I was just having a quick look at the times because we're on the wrong pictures. It's really starting to affect us. Verstappen's going well, but Bottas in second place has set the fastest first sector time, but is now just left.
We're at trackside with Martin at the moment on the TV.
So it's quite hard to understand what's going on.
And I've just understood where Martin hurt his hand.
Yeah, you can see it's just on his finger. But he's got his earpiece caught up with his mask as well, so that's going to hurt. Trust me, I know. Having to wear the masks and earpiece at the same time.
I thought you always wore a mask.
That's to hide my emotions.
Ooh.
Now, Hamilton's run wide, and now Bottas has done the same. So the two Mercedes teammates just leaving each other a bit of room. Here comes the Alfa Romeo down the hill into the braking zone of Kimi Raikkonen. Nice inside turn towards the right. The Red Bull, though, doing it much better. Of the only one left in the session, Max Verstappen, before climbing up the hill to the double left, turn 9, and the heavy of braking of turn 10.
So in your December issues of your Autosport magazines and things like that, you're going to have some great pictures because we're having some great pictures on here.
I can't wait to see that at the end of the year review.
Is that Callum Eilert?
I think so. Is it Robert Schwartzman?
Is it Schwartzman or Eilert?
It's Yuri Vips.
Wow, lost his drive today.
Yeah.
Because he was deputising
for Sean Gelael.
And Gelael is back
He broke his back at the Spanish Grand Prix.
I never realised before, but side view with the mask on.
Looks like
the three of them look alike.
They do look really alike. Yeah, it took us some way to think it was Yuri Vips because they do look alike.
Very good driver, Yuri. I've always said that. He
think he's back
on
in
his
F2
day.
next year, yeah.
On his day, he's not Formula One standard, but he's a good driver.
I think he could easily make a run for F2 title. He's that good.
Yeah, he is.
So as we've seen with a few others that have won the title, Pantano.
He's
for
Russian,
instance,
isn't he?
Yes, I think he is. Yeah. Bahrain, the Shakir.
Schwartzman.
Yeah, Schwartzman, British, isn't it, or German? German, I think. Yeah.
No, Schwartzman's Russian.
Is he? Oh,
Robert
yes, he is. Yeah.
Russian.
Shakir in Bahrain. This venue will host 3 Formula One races in 4 months, returning next weekend for the Shakir Grand Prix, and again on March the 28th for the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix.
2 days after my 60th birthday.
I'd also like to point out, if you go back to... Oh, dear.
What?
Oh, I've just realised that as well. If you go back 2 days, that's practice.
Hard luck, you're on your own.
No, what I'm saying is the fact is if I'm actually here for your 60th birthday, that might be something.
Why won't you be?
If you think about what I'm currently trying to apply for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might actually be in Bahrain. That could be interesting. I apologise in advance. I'll do something on the broadcast. I apologise. Going forward as well, Sebastian Vettel's under pressure. He's currently having to lock up the back. He's where is he with? Danny Kvyat on the track. So them two are not going well.
Look, 60 glorious years.
Yes. You'll probably be sat here still with a headset on, so sorry.
I won't.
No, I personally, don't take this wrong, but only me and you know what is currently going on.
But I don't, apart from what's going on with me, I mean, I will just be amazed if I ever make 60. I didn't even...
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's only 4 months away. I'm sure you can last 4 more months. But no, personally, I hope neither of us are sitting here.
4 months is a long time when you've got as much wrong with you as me.
That's a good point. But personally, I hope that neither of us are sitting here on March the 26th, because if there is, then that's another year we're having to do the broadcasting and not in the roles that we want to be. So that would be something.
What do you mean? I'm the star of this show, and
well,
I demand my name in titles.
You can take over. Ferrari were first and second fastest in practice and qualifying here in 2019. This year, however, they are down in 12th and 14th, with Vettel ahead of Leclerc. Sainz splits them. So, yeah, Ferrari not doing well here, are they? Not better than before. Mercedes as well not doing well. We've seen this before with Hamilton. You were saying all throughout today's sessions he's not going to take his foot off the gas. He's 6th on the Friday. We saw this in Turkey and he won, so I might just withdraw my accusation. But Hamilton's Hamilton's on a bounce of winning 5 races in a row. So
if Lewis feels that he's got what he needs from this, he'll just be dotting the T's and crossing the I's and things like that. I know that's the wrong way around. Before anyone writes in.
Lock up for Leclerc down at turn 10. As this is him again now, a lap later. Live pictures again. Nice inside line.
You'd think you'd have an advert for the supermarket, wouldn't you?
What, Leclerc?
Leclerc supermarket.
I think, yeah.
On the side. You could sponsor him, couldn't they?
They could. Leclerc's Leclerc. I'm surprised Eclair has not
picked
him up. Leclerc would be good. Charles Leclerc. 14th at the moment. As I said, he's just on an outlap. Everyone's now either coming in or on outlaps. No one's on race runs as well. So we're into the part of FP2 where not a lot is happening. Let's hear from Max Verstappen first of all. Front wing updates. Yeah, it's all good. The tyres just die, is saying from Verstappen. So the front wing update.
Which is what F2 found.
Yeah, the tyres just go.
He got up into 7th gear and went straight down for the corner to 4th.
That was a big...
Taking the corner on a 4 is pretty good. Most of them do it on a 3, don't they?
Yeah, this one coming up is usually a 2nd gear corner, and he's taking it in 2nd. Yeah, so I was worried if he kept it in 3rd. But that 4th gear corner back at turn 8, where you just saw it, that should have been 3rd gear.
Just to confuse everyone, Formula 1 gearboxes select 2 gears at a time.
Yeah.
And then you just flick it to put it into the next gear.
Yeah, so that's because there's no clutch.
Yeah,
because there's no clutch. It's just push.
Really amazing bit of technology.
I was saying
the gearbox and Formula 1.
I was saying to Mum as well, because she's now got an automatic. Why why have you not using your left foot? Why are you right foot braking all the time? Because
I always did.
Yeah, she can't get used to left foot braking.
I've had quite a few automatics, and I always did.
What, right foot braking or left foot braking?
I tell you what, I always used to do as well. Left foot never did anything.
I know. I couldn't stand it. I would always use left foot.
When you're at a traffic light, I have it in gear.
Yeah.
So that and just my foot on the brake. And then as soon as the traffic lights go, straight onto the thing.
Straight into the accelerator. And it's an F1 launch, really,
instead of doing it. But you're supposed to take it out of gear.
Yeah. Well, it's never usually that long, is it, in traffic lights? Unless you get the cut
when you've got it in gear, you can actually go very, very slowly around a car park.
Yeah.
Looking for a space. Just leave it in gear and it creeps along.
Yeah, Mum said that as well. You can't not leave it on idle.
Oh, you've got to put it in neutral or...
Because it will just start moving, yeah.
You've got to lock it.
Yeah.
You've got to lock the gearbox.
That's pretty much similar.
You don't actually you need to use your handbrake. If you've locked the gearbox...
It's fine, yeah.
It's not going to move anyway.
That's what we've seen with Formula 1 recently, as you said, with 2 gears.
Yeah.
And they're going through at the moment. And that's why the mechanics have to... Well, the marshals, when the car stopped and it's still got off the wheels, have to push the neutral button to switch off everything so they can move the gearbox back and not lock the rear tyres. That's why that button's there going forward. So
he was there to drive the car.
What, sorry?
Jensen
Button, yeah. Button, who was in the British GT.
He had his own show on TV, Button Moon.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as I said Button. Verstappen has just set a 1:29.319, which is 1,000th off of his own best time. So he's 1,000th quicker. That's getting more and more better.
And they're all on their last little trip round.
They are before they set on their flying laps. How long have we got left? 13 minutes. And this is probably, as you say, this is their last run.
There's virtually none of them going slowly now. They're all at pace.
Yeah, they're all going to go for it now. Giovinazzi's come out of the pit lane right in front of George Russell into the braking zone for turn 1. Verstappen on a lap. Sainz now on a lap. Hamilton tops the board. A 1:28.917. 3/10 quicker than Verstappen. So Hamilton jumps up the order. And you were right. Well done. You said Hamilton would go better. I saw that. I've got two eyes on you.
He's done what he wanted to do.
So he tops practice 1 and practice 2.
And then just waited for his chance. It's like, I'll tell you something else as well, right? Perez is going for it as well.
Perez is crossing the line now and doesn't improve on time.
Oh, he was really doing well in that last sector.
I was surprised, actually, but he stays at a 1:29.403. Lost a lot of time in sector...
I wonder where he lost that.
Sector 2. Lost a lot of time in sector 2. He was like
which next week it'll be gone. Sector 2 will be gone.
He lost 3 sectors.
Be new sector 2 next week.
Yeah. No, actually. There's no sector 2 next week.
Well, yeah, there's this becomes sector 2.
Yes, but it's not big enough for the timing runs. It's just sector 1 and sector 2. It's too short to run 2. It's too short a lap to run 3 sectors. It's just 2 sectors.
We'll get some longer material.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Perez lost 3 seconds in the 3rd sector, so that's where his lap time gone. He backed off coming out of sector 2 and sector 3.
Because he was really going for it.
He was
really doing well.
He was lighting up the screens as well. Bottas just going into the pits. No, coming out of the pits. So he's gone straight through.
You always know when they're all going for it because this little board here, right, this little iPad.
The timing monitor,
with the timing monitor on. Right, it's going like a flashing dashboard on the car.
Yeah, lights up everywhere. Here comes Carlos Sainz to the line. Is this to improve or start a lap? It's to start a lap. And this is Lando Norris. Into the turn 9, big lockup. That's a downhill segment of braking, and you're turning and braking at the same time. So, of course, you're going to lock up. It's quite tricky.
Lando in 7th at the moment.
And he's faster than Sainz. It's the 3rd sector alone. Everywhere else, Sainz improving massively. As well. Where is Norris? 7th?
Yeah. With Stroll behind him.
And
Danny Kvyat is really motivated today.
5th fastest at the moment, which
Looking
is better.
for a new position somewhere, possibly not in Formula 1.
Ricciardo?
Possibly. Kvyat.
Oh, Kvyat. I was going to say Ricciardo's at McLaren next year. Kvyat, by the way, you're right. Kvyat going over to somewhere in motorsport. Rumours he's going to take a sabbatical to decide.
Got to make Danny Ricciardo a Duchess.
Although I'm worried that Kvyat he's going to end up like Vitaly Petrov and just not drive again because he's run out of money to get sponsorship elsewhere. So I'm worried about that because Kvyat is a good racer. He just needs his
with his family connections.
Back. Yeah.
Right. With his family connections, he will race somewhere, possibly in WEC.
Yeah, more likely World Endurance. I'm surprised Hülkenberg hasn't actually done that. Here's the new graphic that's just come on the screen.
You know, you could even get him in Formula E.
That's a good point. So here is the qualifying pace, which predicts the qualifying grid order. So from the times in Q2. So at the moment, the prediction is Lewis Hamilton will be on pole position for Max Verstappen second, Valtteri Bottas third, Sergio Perez will start fourth, Danny Ricciardo will start fifth, Gasly sixth, Albon seventh, Norris eighth, Stroll ninth, and Kvyat rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, Kvyat, remember, he's married to one of the PK girls.
Yeah. Ocon starts 11th, Vettel 12th, Leclerc 13th, Sainz 14th, Giovinazzi 15th, Magnussen 16th, Raikkonen 17th, 18th for Latifi, 19th for Grosjean, and Russell in 20th. However, they have highlighted Russell as having an unexpected result. So Russell could fluctuate in that result. Of course, that is only a prediction of what would happen based on the time set today in practice. But from the qualifying pace tracker on AWS, it predicts Lewis Hamilton on pole for the 100th time, wouldn't it be? Or 99th?
That does seem to be as bad as the polls for the American election.
Yeah.
How can they possibly know that?
I'd just like to point out if
conditions
Hamilton's not
could
on
be
pole,
totally different tomorrow. That's just computer for computer's sake, isn't it?
Yes, I do agree. I don't like it either. But I will just like to point out if Hamilton doesn't get pole tomorrow, he will be calling for a recount. So at the moment, we've got 8 minutes 13 to go, and that's the qualifying
I think there's
pace.
been some false voting in some of the sectors.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Stroll and Perez, who backed off massively in the third sector, might just have a little bit of a disagreement there. Anything can happen in qualifying. Formula One's so unpredictable. We don't need technology to tell us what's going to happen.
Anything can happen in the next half an hour.
Yeah. Exactly. Anything can. 7 minutes to go, though.
Stingray.
I've just lost the voice at the moment.
He's lost his voice, and and the dog's taken it, and it's gone over the thing, and he's under the thing.
I've got my voice back now.
Back to you, Rory. And he's got the voice back.
Kvyat's,
Come on.
Kvyat's
Good day for Kvyat.
Yeah, where is he at the moment? Because the
10th, isn't he?
The monitor's gone off.
9th.
Yeah, he's 9th at the moment with Albon down in 10th place, but Albon could improve.
Stroll's strolling along as usual, under the radar of everybody.
8th.
You know, he's in 8th. Then you've got Lando who's pushing, doing well. Gasly's been pushing all day.
Stroll could have easily won last time out at Turkey, though. I'm still annoyed about that.
Is another one like Stroll who goes under the radar for long periods without you realising. You expect Perez to be battling.
Ocon as well goes under the radar.
Yeah, that top 7 or 8, you're just not surprised at that.
No.
That you could have possibly predicted that before.
They're all the cars that have proved themselves this year with podiums as well. I think looking at it, podium for Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Perez, Ricciardo, Gasly, Norris, Stroll. Don't think he's had a podium this year, has he? Yes, he has.
Stroll has, yeah.
Yeah, Monza. Kvyat, don't think he's had a podium this year. Danny Kvyat? I'm trying to think.
No.
So the top, you're right. The top 8 that you pointed out, all podium this year.
Yeah, Danny Kvyat nearly got a podium, didn't he? And lost it on the last 2 laps.
So that's 8. Then it's 9 because Albon had one as well. Vettel had one. Sainz had one. And Leclerc had one. So that's 15 drivers who have been on the podium this year. 15. That's only 5 drivers haven't. 6 actually, because we've got to add Hülkenberg into that one.
Yeah.
But Hülkenberg did get 3rd in qualifying in 70th anniversary Grand Prix. So that's better. That's the Drivers' Championship at the moment. Lewis Hamilton leading the way and is champion. The battle, though, Perez, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Norris, Albon, Gasly, Stroll, they are all still drivers who could catch Leclerc, which I find amazing.
I found the start of the season, which was local Europe, local,
Austria, Hungary,
So
Silverstone,
Silverstone and all things like that. when they were all staying in their little huddles in little Winnebagos and things like that, you got a different atmosphere in Formula One at that time.
It was more fun.
Fun and less
less serious. Yeah,
less serious.
Everyone was just happy to be back after, what was it, 4 months?
Good racing.
Stopped.
Good racing. It's just that it wasn't as over competitive as it can be.
Austria, I think, was
and
a race.
they were getting on.
Austria was a race where it proved that technology had been sitting on the shelf too long, because all the engines were locked down. So everything that everyone went to Australia with, they went to Austria with 4 months later. So we had ICUs built for racing in Australia that weren't built for Austria, which is a faster track. And Verstappen fell out on lap 3. We had several cars failing to finish with the time issues, numerous safety cars, and it was just insane. And then Hamilton getting a penalty for forcing off Albon.
Every time these cars finish, they're dismantled.
Yeah.
Into pieces, into, the wheels come off, the struts come off.
Yeah.
You bleed the brakes down. You take lots and lots. They're broken up into, I think it's 3 sections in the end.
Front, middle, back. Yeah. 3 sections. Although they couldn't do that in Australia because of the pandemic. The shutdown was so quick. They just had to get them all back. And it took 2 months to get the cars back from Australia because everything went into lockdown. And the entire planet was locked down. And it took them so long for getting
in MotoGP, the bikes were actually at
Qatar.
Yeah,
the bikes
were at Qatar, but the drivers weren't.
Yeah, so that's why their race got cancelled, because they couldn't quarantine in time. Honestly, it's amazed me that we've had any motor racing this year, and it proves as well that if you look back where we were in Australia, it was like we started the season with coronavirus, but it was like a normal year. No one was wearing masks. Everyone was there. The crowd was waiting. And then we've come back and it's like, okay, this is how we take on a season with a pandemic. And it frustrates me so much because we could have done that in March if we had these measures beforehand. So it frustrates me that it took that long to get going again.
I think since the red flag in this, it's been a bit hectic. You could see the driver tracker now.
Christmas trees.
They're going... It's like that old game which goes to go wop, 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 wop.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, it is like Pac-Man.
It's like they're like Pac-Man at the moment, whereas they were like snakes and ladders are going really slow before.
Everyone's out there right now just trying to get the last. Well, they've had their race runs interrupted as well, haven't they? To try and get data. So we knew Free Practice 2 was going to be more exciting.
Data. You cannot get data. Data will live.
Oh, I've just remembered it's Discovery tonight. And I've also heard Spock's in it.
It was on NBC yesterday.
Yeah.
So the one that was on NBC yesterday will be available on
Netflix
today.
Worldwide as well on Netflix. So.
And hopefully Sheldon will be back. There was a new Sheldon last night, so at 8 o'clock on NBC.
So that might be here.
NBC4, New York.
See, I don't know why you don't use that Fire Stick more often with American television that you can watch.
Well, it's simple, right?
I'll tell you.
8 o'clock in the 8 o'clock their time.
Yes, good point. Oh, I know.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning our time.
Believe me, I know. The sport commentaries that I have to do.
And it's a waste of time. You watch special events on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
It's a waste of time because like Discovery was on last night on NBC at 8 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock, and
that's like 4 a.m.
Then it's available as soon as it's finished. There, it's
8 a.m. in the UK.
It's available in the UK.
Yeah.
So, and it's true. There's that many channels now, and the Universal who own NBC and CBS, the people who own CBS all have English channels, and anything they can't sell to other networks, they put on those channels. So you're getting everything virtually instant anyway.
I have heard a rumour that, I know we've got off Formula 1 for a second, but I know quite a lot of the viewers here are actually Star Trek fans as well as Star Wars. I know that to be a fact. So we'll wrap up the session in just a second because there's 56 seconds left.
Star Wars fan.
But I have heard rumours as well that they're bringing back Captain Sisko and they're also going to finish off the Star Trek Enterprise series, which I think is needed. But back to the action with 45 seconds left. As Dad said, they've all been a bit calm in the past couple of moments because they've all just been getting in low 129s and high 131s to do their track runs for the race run simulations. So with 30 seconds left, they're all just out there now, just catching up on data and time. What used to happen about here in Bahrain, where you could do practice starts on the grid? I don't know. Go on.
I don't think they got that low.
1:36 Hamilton's doing now.
1:36 Hamilton's doing.
So their time's differentiating as well. Now, we're going to have a quick off air in a few minutes because I have to dash off as well to get other things done. So 5 seconds left, not of the broadcast, just for the session, because the checkered flag's out in 3, 2, 1. And the checkered flag is out. The session has concluded. The first to meet it is George Russell, as the flag is waved, and the female marshal doing a fantastic job waving the flag. It's a heavy flag, this one as well. Even it's this one. Unlike usually where we have display flags that are football flags, and the actual checkered flags that are used are about half the length of this. This is 5 foot by 3 foot. So you're having to wave in here in Bahrain in the Grand Prix
three
a 5
checkered
foot flag.
flags behind us, and when it was the German Grand Prix, the middle one was replaced by the German flag, which is over there.
The British flag was somewhere up there as well, at Silverstone.
British flag flag for
Silverstone, yeah. I was wondering again on. But yeah, so that's why they've just all got it up now. That's for the esports as well and our broadcasts. Off goes your sound. You can just continue. Lewis Hamilton on the back half of the circuit as well. I'll get it. You can continue talking. It still works.
That's the way I get rid of Josh. I just knock the mic off, the top of the mic, the sound guard off, and then he goes disappearing.
Yeah, then I go disappearing. There you go. Put it back on. There you go.
So I want you to all vote. Was it better when I was on my own, or was it, in those 5 seconds?
Well, you can have the broadcast yourself. But Megan will be back with me tomorrow for free practice 3. I don't know where you are. You'll probably be back sometime or other.
I've got my radio show.
But yeah, Megan will be joining me for free practice 3.
I'll be going. That was the Chi-Lites, and now next record coming up. It's the Temptations who.
I'll tell you
we
what.
We haven't played on the radio station for quite a few years. That's because we don't like it.
I'll tell you what, though. Temptation is tempting for Red Bull. 3/10 the gap between him and Verstappen and Hamilton. That is a big, big gap that Red Bull have got to try and fill going into tomorrow's practice 3. Same time as practice 1. We'll be on air at 10:50 in the morning. And it's going off air at 12:10.
The new one from Rita Ora is really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Qualifying, our broadcast gets underway at 1:45. Session starts at 2 UK time. And race day, our coverage gets underway 1:30. Lights out 2 UK time as well. So the session has concluded. Cars off in the distance.
He's trying to get rid
they'll
of
go
me.
through. It's not you. We've got to get things underway. So here's the session results then from the Shakir International Circuit, or the Bahrain International Circuit. It's Mercedes who are first and third, with Red Bull the only ones to spoil their party. Hamilton top from Verstappen second, Bottas is third, Perez fourth, Ricciardo fifth, Gasly 6th, Norris 7th, Stroll 8th, Kvyat 9th, and Alexander Albon in 10th place, crashing out and having to have his car go under work for the following of free practice 3.
Message from Alison Gator of Rotherham. Could you make it snappy if you're ending the broadcast?
Ali,
all right, Ali?
Well, across the line, Ocon goes 11th, Vettel 12th, Sainz 13th, Charles Leclerc 14th, Antonio Giovinazzi's 15th, 16th for Kevin Magnussen, 17th Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi is 18th.
Go, Lewis.
Romain Grosjean 19th and 20th for George Russell on the board. The field separated by 2.65.
What was that, Joshua, you were saying about Lewis not taking this seriously like he did?
I know, I'll take it back. I'm sorry.
I know, but he did lead you into a sense of false security. Then Angie hit him over the back of the head with the lead.
Yeah, I told him to get going with it because he needs his lead. Well, I'm very impressed by Lewis Hamilton because he's pulled out a 3/10 advantage.
And hopefully the dog is okay.
Yeah, I think he is.
Not
Yeah,
Roscoe.
The dog that went on the track.
Roscoe is perfectly fine.
I think, yeah.
In fact, he's asleep.
Yes. Even the cars will put him asleep.
He had a big dinner round at
We have 45 seconds.
Yeah.
We have 45 seconds until we go off air. Moment of the day for you.
Oh, it's got to be the spectacular crash that Alex did.
Albon, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight, just me, for the Friday practice review, and back at 10:50 tomorrow with Megan for the third practice session. Lewis Hamilton tops Friday on both FP1 and FP2. Albon has work to do, though, but it's going to be an interesting weekend as Formula One races under the lights. Join us tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.